Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So just here to do another bit of working on our journal that we're just using some of our bits from our mass making series or workshops that we're doing. Again, just a little bit of information is that, you know, I had a few people say, well, that's great, but I've got all these mass makes that I don't now really know what to do with. So that's where the idea for this little series has come from. So all I'm doing is, again, and I will try and link the playlist or the, you know, this series or whatever for you guys. I have picked these beautiful book images to use as the basis for my journal. And then I'm just pulling in, as you know, as it comes to it, the pieces that I would like to use to obviously decorate and embellish my pages with. So that said, obviously, if you've watched previously, I pulled in this little pocket here. So if we just pick an image that looks good with that, this is a single page spread, this one, because it's obviously next to these flimsy pages. This is a stiff page. So that's really good because it means I have freedom and I don't need to match it with something opposite. Not that you have to, that's just something that I like to do. But that's not a rule, you know, that's just personal preference. If I have a double page spread, I prefer them to be coordinating in some way, but please don't think that I am now telling you that's what you have to do. That's not what you have to do. You must do, you know, whatever takes your fancy, basically. Having a look, do I want to use this collie? He's very sweet, isn't he? So let's just tear that out. Pop those to one side. That. Okay. Oops. He's cute. He's a little bit big for on here, unfortunately. As I put him at the top of the pocket, which I could do that. I guess that wouldn't really hurt, would it? Perhaps we'll do that. So I'm just going to pull this back in. If we could have I was thinking we could have had some of the text or something, but I'm not sure how nice that is actually. So I'm just going to tear some of this book page around again, just because where it's quite a big image, you know, I'll get rid of a little bit of this background and it just makes it slightly better, I think. Otherwise I'm effectively covering up the entire pocket, which that's a bit of a shame to do that, isn't it? Right, okay, so we've got that. Now, what do we want to have on the bottom of there? Just seeing again what scraps I've got just laying around on my desk. I have got this. Not sure about this, but we'll just have a look. I'll just tear it down and we'll just see whether we could have that. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Because it's just picking up that blue, that he's got a sort of blue background on him. So that's really nice. Now, I tried to use this ribbon before and failed miserably. I wonder whether we could try this again. Oh, it's still got the staples in it. Perhaps I won't bother with that because I might be here all day trying to pull them out. But I have some more of that ribbon here. So we could ink that up and try again. So again, I'm just going to move that out of the way. Let's ink up this ribbon. Oops. Like that. Oops. Okay. So I hope you're all having a good day. Getting some crafting in. Sun is shining here. It's really nice. It's very cold, but very nice. I love those crisp, cold days. They're just lovely, aren't they? We just don't get enough of them. So often it's just dreary and horrible. There we go. So I wanted to tell you guys about something fun that we did with the kids recently. Well, we thought it was fun. You might not. You might not think it's very fun. I know that I've talked about Desert Island discs before, and again, I have mentioned, you know, I don't know whether other people can get them or whether that's just something we can get here in the UK, or maybe you have your own version of them elsewhere. I'm not really too sure, but definitely we have them, and they're on the well, I actually don't know where they are. They're on my podcast app, so I assume they come from like the BBC website or something. I don't know. I don't feel that I'm aware of having downloaded anything like that, so I'm assuming they're just on the podcast app itself that comes with your, you know, your iPad, but I don't know that for sure. It just seems to me it's always kind of been on there, and they're just really nice to listen to. I mean, they've got a huge archive on there of the Desert Island discs, and so, you know, I mean, they're going back like 10 years, some of them really quite old. But I mean, they're still relevant because obviously it's talking about people's childhoods, where they grew up, things like that, you know, how they got into the business and things like that. So, I mean, there are, you know, there are still things that are very relevant in them. And they're just quite fun and, you know, interesting to listen to. Personally, you know, I definitely prefer listening to them than listening to the radio in the car. If I don't listen to them, I just generally have silence. I'm really boring like that until the kids get in, and then obviously the first thing they do is switch the radio on, and then it's like a battle between me turning it down and them turning it up, and so it goes on. But if it's just me, I just listen to those podcasts. So and I don't actually drive very much, to be honest. I hardly ever really drive anywhere, so and particularly I tend to be driving, taking the kids, so I don't get that many chances to listen to them, but I do like it when I do. So anyway, I digress. What we did was we did our own Desert Island discs, where we all had to choose what would be our Desert Island discs if we were stranded on a desert island. So when I first mentioned this to the children, they of course turned their nose up and, oh, what? Oh, you know, when I said, oh, we're going to do Desert Island discs, they were, oh, Mum. And then when I explained and I said, no, we're going to take it in turn, over a few nights, and we're going to do it one person each, you know, per night. And we don't have to do the interview like they do, obviously, on Desert Island discs, but you're going to just say your discs that you would take with you to a desert island. Now, I have to confess that I actually thought it was 7 discs. Turns out it's 8, so we all really could do with adding an extra disc now, but we did 7 anyway, so that's fine. So I sort of went on about it and said, you know, come on, has everyone thought of their discs? Because I didn't want them to just sit down at the dinner table and then dream something up on the spot. I wanted them to actually, you know, properly give it some thought and actually join in the fun. So they were really good, and they did do that, would you believe? They did join in the fun. And so we started with my oldest son, and he did his 8 discs, well, 7 discs. He did some stuff that I'd never heard of. He did do some classics as well. He did Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, the Otis Redding version. What else did he do that was a classic? I think he had Careless Whisper on there. So he did do some that I had heard of, but he did have a few that I, had never heard of. Then I had my turn and, did my discs. Then my middle child, my 13-year-old, he did his. And then my daughter, bless her, she even joined in. Obviously, she didn't write hers down or anything like that beforehand, but she had given it some thought, actually, because she had said it in the car earlier on in the day. And she then stuck with her choice when we sat down to dinner. So she, she was a good girl, and she grasped the concept, and she did hers. And yeah, bless her. I mean, she didn't know the titles of the songs, so she had to kind of say things and we had to suggest what it might be. So it was like, oh, you know that one from that film, or, you know, that one that goes, you know. So, yeah, we kind of managed to decipher what her discs were from her little descriptions. But yeah, even she joined in. So the only person who's not joined in so far is my husband, who claims he was just too busy to actually think about his discs. Now, my husband's a bit like that and, you know, lets the side down a little bit and doesn't really join in the fun. So hopefully we'll nag him and persuade him to do it, because it was great fun to do. And weirdly enough, after the poor reception, whoops, that the children were initially like, oh, what? Oh, they loved it. They all really enjoyed it. You know, even my daughter, as I say. So everyone thought it was really good fun to do. And I was thinking about it and I thought, I'd love to do it here with you guys. So I might do that soon, is do like a Desert Island Discs challenge where, you know, we can just kind of say our actually 8 discs and then nominate another fellow crafter to say their 8 discs. And maybe that would be like really fun. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'd love to know whether you think that would be fun or whether you think it would be really naff. I don't know. And the other thing was, I thought, oh, wouldn't it be great if we could actually play like little bits of the songs? I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to do that, because I'm pretty sure that, you know, copyright and all of those things, we're not allowed to do that. But shame, because I thought this would be a bit like the 10 crafty questions, except it would be obviously the 7 discs that you would take on to a desert island, or the eight discs you'd take onto a desert island with you. But yeah, I don't think we're allowed to actually play them. So that kind of would take some of the fun out of it, because obviously if you've not really heard of the song, what's the point? You know, nobody really wants to be listening to something that they've not really heard of. So yeah, we'll have to, or, you know, I'll have to give it a bit of thought, but it's quite fun. And then the last questions are, you know, how would you get on a desert island? So they did their discs, and then we said, you know, how do you think you'd get on a desert island? You know, if you could only take one disc with you, what would be the disc you would take out of your discs? What was the other thing? Oh, the other thing, luxury item. So what would be your luxury item that you would take with you? And what was the last thing? Oh, and the other thing was, you're given the complete works of Shakespeare in book form and the Bible, and you are also allowed to take a book of your choosing. So we also, you know, we also did that in the challenge that we did. So it was really, really fun. So if you would be interested in doing something like that, it would probably have to be in the new year now, because I've got quite a few videos on the go and I've got my alphabet challenge and all of that stuff. But if you think that might be fun to do as a challenge, then just let me know below. Obviously you might think it just sounds really naff, and that's fine too. But, you know, it's always worth putting things out there, isn't it? So there we go. Okay, so he looks cute on there, doesn't he? Oh, best check I'm filming, as I've been having my technical nightmares recently. Okay, pull the journal back in. So he's just going to go here on this page that is a single page spread. So I'm just going to undo the paperclip from the page before, so that I can actually, you know, get to it and glue it down. So if we pop him here, wondering whether he needs a little bit of ruffle on that page. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got some blue ruffle back here. I think we have used some of this somewhere else, so this is some more. That may be nice. Oh, that would have been quite nice across there, actually. That would have been quite nice across there. So do you know, I'm going to take that lace off before it glues down too well. Look at it now, it's stuck on me. Oh, come on, come on. Let's just peel it off somehow. Right, I'll just pop a bit more glue down. Like that. Yeah, it was fun and interesting hearing what songs that the children chose. And my middle son, he definitely seems to have better taste in music than my older son. And my daughter, I mean, obviously she's hugely influenced by, you know, what we have played to her, really. So she had like Frankie Valli, that Sherry Oh Baby, not Sherry Oh Baby, you know, Sherry. I'm not going to sing it here, but you know, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, she had that. And she had also Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, you know, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, because we used to sing that to her all the time when she was a baby. So she loves that song, and of course we love that song too, because it's got nice memories for us. So that was on her list. And then she had, oh, that awful song from the Lego Movie. I couldn't even tell you how it goes, to be honest. Yeah, I've got a complete memory blank now, but anyway, the Lego Movie song. I can't remember now what else she had, but anyway, it was fun, and she enjoyed doing it. We all enjoyed doing it, so yeah. There we go. Put that down. I don't know what happens, but when you have children, I just think, gosh, they make so much noise that actually, who wants to listen to more noise? You know, when they're actually not around, you know, when they're at school or anything. Why would you want to put more noise on? Go for silence, that's what I say. Just makes me sound so miserable and so old, doesn't it? But, you know, I just think, oh gosh, don't put anything on with any noise. I just want to enjoy a little bit of silence for, you know, while they're out the house. There we go. I'm just going to trim that there. Okay, so I managed to use that pink lace that I obviously peeled off of the pocket. So that looks really nice, and we've done it as a pocket in the side too. So that's that one. We've probably got time to do one more piece in here. So I'll paperclip this back on up here. Now, let's work our way back through. So we can come to this one here. Now this is a double page spread. Actually, I'm wondering I'm probably better off doing a single page, because we might not have time to do the double page spread. So let's just go for a single one. Now, what have I got here from our mass making? We've got this little folding flip, or we do have an envelope actually that we could use. The envelope might be kind of fun. What do you guys think? Let me just check how that would lay on that page. Not bad actually, not too bad. I mean, that page is kind of curly from the coffee dime, so that's a bit of a shame, but or what we could do is, I guess, glue it like that, so it actually opens out at the side, and then we could just, you know, do something on this page to cover it up. Yeah, that might be a good idea, because then that gets around the curliness a little bit better. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So again, let me just weigh that down. Pull my book images back in and see what might look nice with this envelope. Weirdly, so far, I'm thinking that cockatoo might look quite good on there. I don't know why, because he actually doesn't really match those colours at all. but weirdly he kind of does. Oh, again, I've got a tricky one here because I've got that fawn and I've got the flamingo. But I just love that fawn so much. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? Now, I'm going to tear out the cockatoo. And then we'll be able to pop them down and see which one we think looks better. Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it, the cockatoo? Although I was drawn to it, it doesn't really kind of complement it very well, does it? So, right, let's just tear around. Okay, so we've got him. Oh, he's so sweet, isn't he? Right, let's decide now what we're going to layer up with him. So just having a look at the scraps and things that I've got laying around. We could maybe have a bit of this page. This is just that paper bag, printed paper bag that I've got just laying around on here. Doesn't look too bad. What else have I got? Let's have a look. I mean, I just love having just so much rubbish here because sometimes it's the, you know, the things that you least expect that actually look the best. So let's have a look. I mean, I've also got this, funny enough, which, oh, that's really nice, isn't it? So again, this is just a scrap that I've kind of had here, really. It might even be here from when we've been doing some of the mass makes. So I'm just going to tear around it so it's not quite so, you know, square. Sharp edges. Oops, like that. Just get this little piece off the back. And I'm just going to tear this down slightly more. Like that, I think. Cute, very cute. Oh yeah, I love how that looks colour-wise. So let me move this out of the way, like that. So we'll just get sticking on here, I think, before I can change my mind. So let's just pop this down. Like that. And then this, do we want that kind of more over, or what do you think? Quite like it over there a little bit, strangely enough. Now, do we want a label or anything on here? So I'm just having a look, seeing what labels and bits and bobs that I've got sat here. I've got one of those bees. I wonder if that would look kind of cute. No, probably not. Got some of Rachel's labels, but these are tiny ones. I've got that one, but it's the wrong shape. Let me just pull in my coin envelope again. Coin envelope? Coin... What's this thing called? What is this thing? Oh gosh, I don't know what it's called. Coin album. I don't know why I could not think what that was for a moment, but yes, the coin album. Let's pull that in. Because I've got some labels here sort of ready cut out, so let's just have a look. And there's a couple of words in here from some scrapbook paper. Oh, together again. I'm not saying that that saying or that sentiment necessarily goes brilliantly with the picture, but the colour definitely goes with the piece. So that's why I've pulled that out. Now I've just spotted a little flower there from some scrapbook paper as well. So let me just pop these back in and pop that down to the side. Let's have a look. Oh, I love that. Let's move that one out of the way. Right, love that. Let's just go straight for that. Okay. So I pop this down here. Okay. Should check that I'm in frame and filming again. Oh gosh, how many times do I need to do that? We ask ourselves, how many times? And then I'm going to have this here. Now, do I want to pop that on some fabric, I wonder? I've got this fabric, which I think I used this last for the fabric envelopes that we did. No, right, what I'm going to do, I think, is just tear. Oh, where have my scissors gone now? Surely I've not dropped them again. Oh, why do these things happen? There they are. Right, okay. So just cut that down. Because I'm just wondering if we could just have this like straight somewhere on the page or on the envelope. Quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I feel like it just needed something, so just going to ink it up a little bit. Oops. Like that. Just ink up my label. Flower, then finally do my fabric. Like that, okay. So I'm going to pop the fabric down there, I think. So I'm just going to glue this down slightly more because I'd left it hanging so that if I wanted to have anything poking out of it, I had room, you know, to lift it and pop something down. But actually I think I'm going to have, you know, I think the fabric would look better, so just going to glue down there. Okay. That's really nice. And then I'm just going to ink up the other side as well. I mean, we will probably cover this up, but just in case we don't. I don't need to do the inside of the flap because it's going to be stuck down in the book, but oops. There we go. The inside, I meant this, not this inside, because this side will be visible. It's just the other one that won't be, if that makes sense. Okie dokie. Right, that's that. Oops. Get my label there, pop that on. Like that. Okay, I seem to have lost my wipe now. Oh, there it is. We're going to have our little word. So I'm just going to pop this fabric, pop some glue on it just so it's stuck down here a little bit more on this edge. Then we'll stick our little word down. As I say, I mean, I'm not necessarily thinking this word theme-wise is great, but definitely colour-wise, it kind of couldn't be better, could it? So, perfect. And again, I mean, that flower, it's just perfect there, isn't it? So, there we go. Oh, that's so cute. Right, let me check about the in frame and filming. Yep, okay, good. Right, let's bring the journal back in. Okay, And then remember which page we were doing this one for. I think we were going for here. So that's really nice, isn't it? And then what we could do is even maybe have a little bit of fabric somewhere on the page. So let's just have a look. We could have, what's that sort of look like running down the side there? It's quite nice, isn't it? And it just brings the two pieces together. So I'll just ink this up. Oops. Like that. And then what we'll do, we'll just glue that down, running along the side. So, like that. I'm going to leave a bit of a gap so that it's not actually stuck on the envelope or anywhere near the envelope flap. There we go. Pop that down. Okay, and then finally is obviously we'll glue the envelope down. So, and of course you could, you could pop something here as well. So just check whether I've got anything suitable that we could just pop on here. Got a camera, that's quite cute. Let's just ink that up. Okay, so I'm just going to place the envelope where it's going to go, because I probably want the camera like hidden from view. So there we go. Right, I'm now going to just glue all over this flap. Like that. Oops, I don't think I put much in the middle there. And then I'm just going to pop that flap down. Like that. Just press it down. Like that. There you've got your envelope just off to the side like that. And then all I'm going to do to just literally now finish that off, I'm just going to pop that camera there. Don't have to, it doesn't really need anything else, but I just thought it was kind of nice colour wise, and just something a little bit more to look at on the page there. So there we go. There we go, another couple of pages done. Yeah, so I hope that you think that the journal is coming along really nicely, and I hope it's given you some ideas and suggestions as to how you can be using your mass makes. I hope you'll join me all for another episode soon, and thank you very much for watching. Catch you later. Thanks, Em. Bye.